Good evening. Welcome to Thai PBS English News Service. Tonight you're with me, Rungtip Chonapalai. Police Captain Chalerm Yubamrung confirmed that there is a plot to assassinate fugitive former Prime Minister Thaksin at today's cabinet meeting, and he has already assigned Police General Panupong Singhara Na Ayutthaya to appoint a commission in order to uncover the truth. Before chairing the cabinet meeting, Police Captain Chalerm Yubamrung, Deputy Prime Minister, insisted that there is a plan to assassinate Thaksin Shinawatra. He responded to a connection found between the ammunition seized in Myanmar and the plot against Thaksin. As the House of Police General Bunlet Kapasit Pitaksayam's leader has been hit by thrown fireworks, he promised to send policemen to keep a close watch on it. However, no more information is available. Meanwhile, Police Lieutenant General Paradon Pathanathabut, Secretary General of the National Security Council, confirmed Thaksin's murder plot. Napuran Patama, Thaksin's legal advisor, said that former Prime Minister Thaksin Shinawatra has postponed his planned trip to the border town of Thakilek in Myanmar. But the plan to meet the President of Myanmar, Thein Sein, in Naypyidaw on November 8th is still on. He still said that assassination plot is probably either revenge for cracking down on drug dealers while Thaksin was Prime Minister or a domestic political conflict. Today, a Chinese court sentenced 4 members of a Myanmar drug gang to death for kidnapping and killing 13 Chinese sailors last year on the Mekong River, state media reported. China, Myanmar, Laos and Thailand began joint Mekong River patrols in December after the sailors were killed along a section of the river flowing through the Golden Triangle region, which is notorious for drug traffickers and extortion gangs. Gang leader No Kam was extradited from Laos by Chinese authorities in May. He and 3 members of his gang were sentenced to death by the People's Intermediate Court in Kunming, the capital of Yunnan province. The official Xinhua News agency reported. Xinhua said another gang member was given a suspended death sentence and 1 was sentenced to 8 years in prison. All 6 defendants were charged with intentional homicide, drug trafficking, kidnapping and ship hijacking. All told the court they would appeal, Xinhua reported. Democrat MP Jirachasi is leading a team of scientists checking radiation activity in Songkhla municipality, where a warehouse of Schlumberger Overseas company is located. The privately owned warehouse was recently known to contain radioactive substances. The Office of Atoms for Peace has not yet responded to inquiries regarding the fact that nuclear materials are being kept near the town area. The MP and Songkhla residents will be asking the Ministry of Science for an explanation of the matter, and the opposition might include the issue in their fathoming censor debate. Initial feedback from the research unit deployed to the area does not indicate that radiation levels have reached safety standards. Locals in the province are now forming a movement to rally against all 28 warehouses in the province which contain radioactive substances. Since the subprime mortgage crisis in 2008, the U.S. economy continues to face severe challenges and has shown only slow recovery. Some voters in Las Vegas told me that the economy is the main issue in the U.S. presidential election. Following the U.S. economic slowdown since 2008, its economy has not recovered much. At the same time, China and new emerging economies are increasing their competitiveness. According to Pew Research Center, the economy therefore remains one of the most significant concerns for voters during U.S. presidential election. Over the past 4 years of the Obama administration, Obama launched several stimulus packages. Recently, the unemployment rate and the consumer price index have shown slight improvement, reflecting the improving economic status of many middle-class Americans. Recovery of the U.S. economy remains sluggish despite the recent launch of QE3, the third of quantitative easing. The jobless rate remains sluggish. The house prices have not risen much and interest rates remain low, but many people here still have hope that economic situation will change for the better after the presidential election. Steve Raza, a former computer expert who was laid off nearly 4 years ago, has moved from California to Las Vegas to work in the service industry. Steve admitted that, like many Americans, he has turned crisis to opportunity by working at any job and extra jobs to pay the bills.
They have a fraction of the security, which is basically putting them in a position where, as a whole, I think America's having some problems.
Mm-hmm. But then you have any hopes, like after the election that things will get better?
I have a little hope that as soon as our president is either reelected or we have a new president come in, that quickly they make some changes. I think a lot of people are looking at our president as our leader.
Both the Romney and Obama campaigns promised to stimulate the U.S. economy with differing focuses on taxes and spending. A former professor at Nevada University who turned to real estate is hopeful that the U.S. economy will pick up after the election.
Absolutely. This is something why, number one, the political situation is very stable. Mm-hmm. And number two, American people here honor foreign investor. And number three, if you got brain, you got mind, you want to try something new, American accept it. When a lot around the world say American would be behind other country as superpower, I just say my big word, I say, don't think about it. Why? Americans smart.
No matter who wins or loses the U.S. presidential election, the new president will have to tackle the ongoing domestic economic issues and at the same time come up with viable strategies to stay competitive, especially against China. Many young Chinese people appear to be more interested in the U.S. presidential election than a leadership transition in their own country, which will take place at the forthcoming 18th Communist Party Congress. When U.S. President Barack Obama and his Republican challenger Mitt Romney went head-to-head in the debate prior to the U.S. presidential election this week, it grabbed the attention of many young Chinese. 21-year-old Peking University student Wang Xiejian was one who has been following the campaigning. He said that the 18th Party Congress is a meeting for the party. We ordinary people can only watch it as an audience. The U.S. presidential election is a campaign that gets everyone involved. He readily offered his opinion on the outcome of Tuesday's vote, saying Obama is likely to win a second term, but professed minimal interest in China's once-a-decade Communist Party Congress, which starts on Thursday. The 18th Congress will be held in Beijing, and some 2,270 party members from all over China will gather for the meeting of the Communist Party of China. This Congress is important because China will name its new leaders who will be charged with charting the course of the world's second-largest economy for the next 10 years. Preparations have been underway for some time for the 18th Congress, and floral decorations and posters adorn the streets of Beijing. Meanwhile, political discussions in China have taken to cyberspace, especially on social media sites like Weibo. There are some 250 million Weibo users in China, and over half of them are young people under the age of 35. Professor Yu Qiaoming is the head of the Research Institute of Public Opinion at Renmin University in Beijing. He and his research team have published an annual report on social public opinion in China since 2010. Findings from his latest report, called the Annual Report on Social Public Opinion in China 2012, shows young people are the most active users in setting the agenda for public opinion in China, and Weibo is the main vehicle for it. He says sites like Weibo give young Chinese people freedom to talk and discuss ideas. Leaders and representatives of around 50 countries in Asia and Europe began a second day of meetings on today at the Asia-Europe meeting or ASEM summit in the Laotian capital Vientiane. Among the leaders attending were China's Premier, Japan's Prime Minister and the Swiss Confederation President. 2012 sessions are being held against the backdrop of the ongoing financial crisis in Europe, which is also affecting economies across Asia. With Europe's economy as a whole in poor health and with chronic and serious problems such as in Greece and Spain, European leaders are hoping that the strong Asian economies can come to their aid.
We are currently negotiating a number of free trade agreements with Asian partners. With some of them we already have, and with the aim to increase further market access and job opportunities with mutual benefit.
Other ASEM sessions will cover a broad range of topics from terrorism and sea piracy to human rights and education. Leaders are also having bilateral meetings on the sidelines. Chinese Premier Wen Jiabao met with the French President, the Italian Prime Minister and Bulgarian President on Monday, vowing to enhance the relationship between China and Europe. During his meeting with French President, Wen said China and France should stick to a strategic and long-term perspective on their relations, maintain high-level contacts and deepen their comprehensive strategic partnership in the face of the current complex international situation. He also said that China will continue to help solve the European debt crisis through bilateral and multilateral channels, expressing his belief that the European Union, with its own unremitting efforts and the international community support, is surely able to overcome the difficulties and achieve new development. Holland said France and China share wide common interests, conduct fine cooperation, hold same views on many international and regional issues, and both advocate for a multipolar world. A South bilateral relationship is vital to France, he said. France is very confident in China's development, the president said, voicing his hope that China will continue to hold confidence in France and Europe. During the meeting with Italian Prime Minister, Chinese Premier said the European Union's several major measures and Italy's active advance in its financial reform and economic revitalization plan have bolstered hope and confidence of Europe and the international community. Italy is undertaking structural reform with its economic and financial condition significantly improved. Monti said. He added that Italy would like to increase its cooperation with China in the trade and financial sectors and be a sincere friend with China to achieve mutual benefits and a win-win result. This is its 9th summit and its membership has grown to 52, including bodies such as the ASEAN Secretariat, the European Council and the European Commission. Thailand have a chance to make history and advance to the second round of the Futsal World Cup for the first time in their next match against Paraguay tomorrow, who must win to have any chance of progressing. Tickets for the match have already sold out. The local organizing committee has been negotiating with FIFA to provide futsal fans some space inside the Sports Authority of Thailand to watch the match. As FIFA said, the Nimibut Gymnasium Bangkok is the only place allowed live broadcast matches to futsal fans who cannot purchase tickets. Tickets for the match between Thailand and Paraguay tomorrow are sold out as FIFA will not allow any projectors to be installed in front of indoor stadium Hua Mak due to copyright issues. However, the organizer is still trying to negotiate with FIFA officials over the installation of projectors, but they are still waiting for FIFA's response. Since the tickets sold out, many illegal tickets, which cost double or triple or more, are being widely sold. For the last match, when Thailand beat Ukraine, the 100 baht tickets were being sold by tools for as much as 1,200 baht before the match started. Because the number of tickets purchased per person has not been limited by Thai ticket major, some groups of people bought large numbers of tickets to sell for high prices in front of the stadium. Thailand must beat Paraguay tomorrow to advance to the next round and make history by advancing to the second round for the first time. Meanwhile, Bangkok Futsal Arena failed to win FIFA approval to be used in the upcoming Futsal World Cup for concerns of the safety. And that wraps up tonight's editions of Thai PBS English News Service. Thank you for watching. I'm Rungtip Chonapalai. Have a good night. สวัสดีค่ะ